Apple just filed another patent for a smart ring. And this one is different. Not because the idea is new. Apple has been filing ring patents since 2015, but because of the timing. In the same 12 months, the company's most trusted insider went from saying the Apple Ring is dead to saying it is time. And there is one specific sensor technology buried inside these patents that almost nobody is talking about, and it tells us a lot about what Apple is actually planning. I will get to that in a few minutes. But first, we need to talk about the fake leak that flooded tech forums last year, because if you saw that story, some of what you think you know about the Apple Ring is almost certainly wrong. Welcome to A Smarter Body, where we make health tech and science easy to understand. Today we are looking at a device that does not exist yet, using the real evidence that is actually out there. Verified patent filings, conflicting analyst reports, peer-reviewed research on finger-based sensors, and an honest look at what Apple would really need to pull off to make this worth buying. No speculation dressed up as insider information. Just what the data actually supports. So let us start with that fake leak. In November last year, a post circulated across tech forums claiming Apple had prototyped a titanium smart ring with sensors that could measure arterial pulse wave velocity, a clinically validated marker of cardiovascular risk. It included CAD-style renderings and what looked like a supplier list. The story went viral. Within 48 hours, analysts traced the design back to a 2023 patent from a company called Circular Health, and the supplier list matched publicly known vendors for the Withings Ringcon Pro. The technical idea was plausible. The Apple part was completely fabricated. The idea of an Apple Ring is emotionally powerful enough that people want to believe any leak. So we need to separate signal from noise. Here is what is actually verified. Apple has filed and been granted multiple patents for ring-style devices going back to around 2015. In August 2025, Apple was granted a patent called Ring Device, describing a smart ring with sensors, wireless radios, and gesture controls. In February 2026, a new application built on the same framework with more detail. Patents do not guarantee products. Apple files thousands every year that never become hardware. But when the same form factor appears across a decade of filings and those filings get granted, you start to see what Apple thinks a ring should do. So what do the patents actually describe? 4 consistent themes. First, health monitoring, and this is where that sensor technology comes in. Several patents describe using self-mixing interferometry, SMI, to measure heart rate, blood oxygen, and potentially blood pressure. SMI is a laser-based technique where a tiny laser sends light into your tissue, and the light that scatters back changes the laser's internal properties. The system detects micro-movements in your skin caused by blood pulsing through the arteries. Unlike traditional PPG, photoplethysmography, the optical method used by most wearables today, SMI is theoretically more robust to movement and may capture richer waveform data. No other consumer ring on the market today uses this approach. Second, NFC, near field communication, the same standard behind tap to pay. The patents describe using NFC, not just for payments, but for logging health behaviors, like tapping your ring against a medication dispenser to automatically record a dose linked to your health profile. That is a clinical grade use case, not just a convenience feature. Third, gesture control. An inertial measurement unit inside the ring senses hand orientation and movement. Combined with cameras or sensors on other Apple devices, the ring acts as a pointer and clicker, including for Vision Pro. Fourth, voice and context. Some patents include a built-in microphone for Siri commands and ambient audio capture. Subtle voice control without lifting your wrist. Now here's where it gets interesting for your health data. Why would Apple bother with a ring when it already has the Apple Watch? Because your finger is simply a better location for optical health sensing. A 2022 review in Frontiers in Physiology found that fingers consistently produced more accurate heart rate measurements than wrists. The digital arteries in your fingers sit closer to the skin with less soft tissue variability. We are talking fractions of a millimeter from skin to artery, compared to the wrist where subcutaneous fat, muscle, and individual anatomy all vary. You can see this in real products. Oura Ring's sleep staging scores a Cohen's kappa of around 0.65 compared to overnight polysomnography, the clinical gold standard for sleep measurement. Cohen's kappa measures agreement between two methods, corrected for chance. Apple Watch sleep staging sits around 0.60 in head-to-head comparisons. That small gap lines up exactly with the physiology. For Apple, a ring is not a watch replacement. It is a way to upgrade the sensor position, especially overnight. So if the sensor logic is strong and the patents are piling up, why has Apple not launched this yet? In October 2024, Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, usually one of the most accurate Apple reporters, said Apple was not actively developing a smart ring and had no plans to launch one. He argued Apple did not want to cannibalize the watch. Then in June 2025, he shifted. In his Power On newsletter, he wrote that it was now time for Apple to introduce a ring, pointing to incremental watch updates, sleep comfort, and the role a ring could play with Vision Pro and Apple Pay. Same analyst, 8 months apart. Two different conclusions. That tells you the ring strategy is not settled, even among people who talk to Apple's supply chain. That said, Ben Wood from CCS Insight told CNBC an Apple Ring could arrive as soon as 2026, not as a watch replacement, but as a companion device. A ring focused on continuous sensing and subtle control does not threaten the watch. It amplifies it. Now let us zoom out to the ecosystem, because this is where Apple has an advantage no other ring company can match. Apple Health already supports FHIR, Fast Healthcare Interoperability Resources, the standard that defines how health data is structured and shared between hospitals, clinics, and apps. Many hospital systems already let you pull your electronic health records directly into Apple Health using FHIR connections. So if an Apple Ring streams your heart rate, HRV, SpO2, and sleep stages into Apple Health, that data lands inside a framework already wired for clinical integration. Heart rate variability, HRV, measures variation in time between heartbeats in milliseconds. Higher, more adaptable HRV generally reflects better recovery and a more resilient autonomic nervous system. If a ring on your finger collects cleaner overnight HRV than a watch, and that flows into a FHIR-compatible record, your clinician could see trends in the same system they already use. No other ring maker owns that full pathway from finger to electronic health record. Apple does, at least on the software side. So where does that leave us? You have a decade-long patent trail describing SMI sensors, NFC health tagging, gesture control for Vision Pro, and Siri access through a built-in mic. You have a smart ring market growing at over 20% annually. You have Oura, Ultrahuman, and Samsung's Galaxy Ring already in this space. And you have Apple Watch hardware that even close followers describe as incrementally evolving. On the other hand, there are still no credible supply chain signals. When Apple prepares a new hardware category, you see component leaks from Asian factories, analyst notes citing specific suppliers, regulatory filings for wireless radios. None of that has appeared convincingly for a ring yet. The most reasonable read is this. Apple has invested serious engineering and legal effort into the ring concept. The health science and sensor physics support putting key measurements on the finger, but there is no solid evidence yet that a consumer product is locked in and on the production line. If Apple does move, a late 2026 timeline is plausible, with a price likely in the $300 to $500 range, based on where Oura and Samsung sit today and how Apple positions premium health hardware. So what should you actually do with this? If you already use a smart ring, nothing in the rumor mill makes your device obsolete. If you are on the fence and your focus is better sleep and more reliable overnight HRV, the evidence today supports starting now rather than waiting years for a hypothetical device. That said, if your entire health stack lives in Apple's ecosystem and you care about data flowing into medical records, an Apple Ring would close a loop no third-party device can fully close today. That is the honest trade-off. If you want to see how today's smart rings actually perform against each other, sleep staging accuracy, HRV reliability, recovery scoring, the comparison is coming very soon, so stay tuned. And if you want more evidence, first deep dives on health tech, hit subscribe. Until next time, keep it smart, keep it simple, and keep it healthy.